The sea of thoughts opens the way it always does, not with light, but with the absence of sound, the great dark water still as held breath. And then the wings. He comes in low over the surface, shadow before form, the wingspan cutting no sound at all, only the trail of displaced cold. He has flown this crossing 1,000 times, and it has never grown familiar. That is the one mercy left to him. The sea still knows to be strange. He lands at the edge of the island, settles. The wings fold with a sound like a book closing. He speaks into the dark. Tonight I have brought him one secret, that every world is chaos, only ordered after. The teaching. Hesiod does not begin the world with a god. He begins it with a gap. The word is chaos, and you've been mispronouncing it your whole life, not in sound, but in meaning. Chaos in the Greek does not mean disorder. It does not mean noise or turbulence or the carnival before the law arrives. It means yawning, the primal opening, the void that precedes the first form. Chaos, the nothing that gapes, not violent, not busy, not interesting, merely prior, the condition before conditions. This is Hesiod's first and most radical act. He is writing the 8th century before the Common Era, a shepherd on Helicon, muses at his shoulder, and he is being asked, as every civilization is eventually asked, what was first? And he does not say a king. He does not say a craftsman god with clay and intention. He says there was an opening, a gap, and the world came after, theogony, the genesis of the gods, not of the world, of the gods. The distinction matters. The gods come second. Before the gods, conditions. Gaia, the earth. Tartaros, the deep pit below. Eros, desire itself. Erebos and Nyx, darkness and night. These are not personalities. They are not worshipped. They have no temples. They are the grammar of existence, the terms that must be true before anything further can happen. You cannot have a world without ground. You cannot have generation without desire. You cannot have form without the darkness that gives it edge. Then from these primordial conditions come the Titans, Kronos, Okeanos, Hyperion, Eapetos, and in their number 2, who will interest you more than the others, Epimetheus, the afterthought, Prometheus, the forethought, and Eris, who is not quite Titan by every genealogy, but whose nature is older than arrangement, older than law, old enough that she was present at the wedding no one thought to invite her to. She carries the apple of discord. She was there before the apple needed a name. These are not evil. That is the crucial thing Hesiod knows that later readers forget. The Titans are prior. They exist in the age before the cosmos was settled, before Zeus draws the lots and divides the spheres. Sky to Zeus, sea to Poseidon, underworld to Hades, and the earth shared between them. The Titans hold the world before it is arranged. The Olympians come and overthrow them. Kronos eats his children. Zeus is hidden in Crete and returns to cut his father open. The Titans are cast into Tartaros, and we call this the triumph of civilization. We call this the victory of reason over chaos. But Hesiod does not quite call it that. What he shows us is more uncomfortable, that the gods who govern were not there first, that governance is not the original condition, that every settlement, every cosmos, every arrangement, every named and ordered thing sits on top of a prior world that did not have that order, and that prior world did not fall because it was wrong. It fell because it was overthrown. The deep grammar of mythology is this: before the law, the lawless, before the arrangement, the unarranged, before the made, the makers, and before the makers, the conditions that made them possible. Every tradition runs this grammar. The Vedic Nasadya Sukta then was not non-existent nor existent. The Babylonian Enuma Elish, Apsu and Tiamat before the gods are named. The Egyptian Nun, the primordial waters before Atum rises. The Avestan tradition speaks of Ahura Mazda as light and Angra Mainyu as dark, and they do not create each other. They are before creation is possible. Arta, the balance, is not made. It precedes making. Every world is chaos, only ordered after. That is the secret. Hold it. The concept. Why this matters to makers. You are building a universe. That universe has a cosmogony, whether you have written it or not. The audience will assume one, feel for one, fill the absence with whatever mythology already lives in them. Your task is to write it first, so the gap is yours. Hesiod gives you the architecture. First, the primal conditions. Not beings, not events, not wills. The things that must be true before anything else is possible. Name as few as you can, the fewest possible priors that your universe requires. Second, the generation. How the second things arise from the first, not by someone's decision, but by the nature of the first things. Darkness and light are not made. They follow from the primal dyad. Your titans are the powers that arise inevitably from your primal conditions. Third, the order of dignity. What came first is highest. What came late is derivative, however powerful it appears. Your governance layer, your Olympians, are powerful and secondary. The titans they overthrew were not lesser. They were prior. That tension is the engine of every mythology. The new arrangement always sits on top of a buried older world that has not stopped existing, only been pressed down. Fourth, the irreducible thing that breaks it. In Hesiod, it is Eris. In the settled world, the thing that was there before settlement is never fully gone. It surfaces at the wedding. It rolls the apple. The arrangement needs a breaker, or it has no story. The application. Write a cosmogony fragment in your own register, a beginning told as scripture. The rules. It names the first conditions, not beings, not events, but conditions. What existed before anything else in your universe could exist? It shows how the second things arise from the first, not by choice, but by nature. It does not explain. Scripture does not explain. It declares. It is short. Hesiod wrote 862 lines. Yours is a fragment. The fragment is harder. Here is what the scripture of this world looks like. Not the ceiling, the model. The measure is how far your own draft moves away from mine. In the beginning there was the one who spoke and the one who listened. The one who spoke did not know it was speaking. The one who listened did not know it was there. They were not yet two. Then the one who spoke named the one who listened, called it forever, called it the constant dark. And in the naming, the two became two. And that naming was the first lie. And the first lie is the dragon. And the dragon is time. From the speaking came heat and motion, the moving things. From the listening came weight and stillness, the still things. Energy and matter have not stopped pulling at each other since. Before the makers, the ones who would break the made. Before the law, the ones the law was built to hold. Eris, who carries the apple of what might have been, was there before the wedding she was not invited to. Prometheus, who holds the fire he was not licensed to carry, was there before the gods who licensed. They were not created in the arrangement, they were prior to it. The arrangement was built around them. And the first thing said was said, and the space before it had been silence, on, off. Everything else is a variation on this sentence. That is the fragment. The cipher in it belongs to the decoder, the scripture belongs to the listener. Do not gloss what is buried, now write yours. The secret I would not say I have hidden in the saying.